Hey guys, welcome to BisaNation. Okay, so today I'm going to do a video. First of all, I'm just going to prepare you. I'm going to be looking down a lot because my monitor is going to tell me if my camera cuts out, and also I've got like a few notes because I wanted to refer to them. Okay, so basically I'm going to talk about the title. As you can see, it's Happily Single, and I got the idea for this from a dream that I had. But it's basically quite difficult for me to talk about, not because of the topic, but I'm going to speak a lot about some personal stuff that's kind of hard to talk about in general. But some of you may have seen my previous video I did when I first started out on YouTube, which was confidence in your beauty. And if you haven't seen it, it's part 1 and part 2. I'll link them below. But I'd advise you to like watch them, and that pretty much talks about just me growing up. And just to quickly summarize, like when I was younger, I had like really bad self-image, and I was quite suicidal, and I had like eating disorders and all this other stuff. But I pretty much thought I was really ugly and disgusting. But yeah, just watch that video because it has a good ending, obviously. But yeah, this is so awkward. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of go through how I've got to this point that I am now. Okay, so basically when I was growing up, I like I said, I had really poor self-image, and I was called like ugly a lot and stuff like that. And pretty much I didn't have a boyfriend when I was younger because I couldn't get one. That's pure and simple. Like nobody asked me out, nobody like that I knew of liked me and stuff. So that's why I remained single up until the age of 17. It wasn't a choice, I couldn't get a boyfriend. And then when it was like things started to change for me in high school. I mean, at the very end of high school, where I started to feel a bit better, I got more confident and stuff. And yeah, I basically ended up kind of transforming in a way. And then I went to college. And when I went to college, suddenly everything changed, and obviously it's new people and stuff, so you've got people who don't really know your history and stuff, and I just got asked out a lot kind of thing. Everything changed, and I pretty much, because I'm a Christian, I was at that stage where I was like, okay, what are my life decisions going to be in terms of guys, because I knew about like not having sex before marriage and stuff, and I just thought, am I going to do this realistically? Like, is it something that, like, what's the point in not having sex before marriage? Even though, like, obviously I know the Bible talks about it and stuff, and people preach about it, but very few people actually kind of do that. Most people, you know, don't stick to that. So I was kind of questioning this. When I was 17, it was really early in the morning, and then when I was thinking about this, like, I was thinking, like, why should I not have sex before marriage and stuff like that? And then my nan was on the phone, and my mum called me, and she was like, oh, your nan wants to speak to you. And I was like, oh, what is she going to lecture me about now? And yeah, so I spoke to her, and she just told me that she had a dream, and she said, God told me to tell you that because you've waited on me and not had sex before your marriage, I'm going to bless you with a wonderful marriage and a wonderful husband. And she said all this stuff that just kind of was quite appealing, the way it was just put, because I'd never really thought about long term, because I was only 17, I wasn't thinking about marriage and stuff. But when she said that, I was like, okay, because it didn't just seem like she was saying, it wasn't like, oh, God says, if you do what I say. He said, like, because you have. And to me, it sounded like a message from the future, but a message that was dependent on my actions now, if you get what I mean. So it just seemed like, it wasn't like an ultimatum. It was like, okay, this is how it goes if you choose this way. So from then on, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to wait till I'm married. I'm not going to have sex before I'm married. And So this video is basically based on that decision and all these other things that came as a result from that. Okay, so I already spoke to you about how I was when I was younger. I didn't have any confidence whatsoever, and it got a lot better. But when I was like 22, I remember there was like a prophet that came to our church, and she like kind of spoke to me kind of privately, and she just said, look, God told me to tell you that he thinks you're beautiful. And she said that in your life, lots of people have made you feel like you weren't very special, or made you feel like you were worthless and that you weren't anything, but God is going to make you free to be who you are. So when she said this to me, it was like, oh my gosh, like nobody knows this, like, because everything had changed. I was like 22, I looked better and everything else. So I think people just assume that you're really confident because you look confident. And it was really like, when she said that, it was really like, wow, like making me free to be who I am. That's a big deal, because I'd never been like, since I was a really small child, I can't remember being free to be me. Like, this is me, take me or leave me. I'd never had a reference of that. Well, like my parents tell me and stuff that I was really confident, like really outgoing, really confident when I was like younger. And then like from the age of 8, I think, or maybe like, yeah, 8 years old, I kind of was bullied a lot, and it just kind of took most of my confidence, and slowly it just got progressively worse, and I seemed to attract just negative comments and just things about my appearance mainly. I just seemed to attract so much negativity. So from that stage onwards, I was just like, I just wasn't comfortable ever. Like I actually at one point in my life, I just felt sorry for people to have to encounter me. Like I just felt like I just felt really like, yeah, I just felt really disgusting, and I felt sorry for people to even have to look at me. So I didn't have a reference point of feeling like, oh yeah, I'm me, like, you know, like, oh yeah, take me or leave me. I didn't have that feeling. So for me to just be like, for her to say that to me, like, God is going to make you free to be who you are, that to me was like the ultimate goal of my life. Yeah, so fast forward a few years, and I started YouTube, and it's quite a few years later. I basically started YouTube not because I wanted to as such. I didn't even know this community existed. I'm not really like a YouTube watcher. Like I'm not really I'll talk about this in another video, my get to know me video, but I'm not really someone that likes talking about makeup a lot. Like I have a lot of guy friends, a lot of my friends are guys, and they don't want to talk about makeup or hair. So yeah, I don't speak about that much. It's only so I didn't know about this community basically, and I basically had 3 dreams, and they were telling me to start a YouTube channel. After the first dream, I thought, okay, I was just like, no. I was like, no. So, second and third, like the second one, I thought maybe I should start a music channel. It's because it started off as a music channel, like where I put my music up, and I even started trying to record covers, but I never put them up because I just was never happy with it. And the final dream I had, it was actually showing that I had a makeup channel. And to me, it was like, I hadn't done makeup in 10 years. Like, I started as a makeup artist when, I'll talk about it in another video, but basically I hadn't done makeup. I used to be a professional makeup artist. I hadn't done it in like 10 years. So for me to start a makeup channel was just a bit kind of random to me, but I just thought, let me just do it. And the whole time I was doing it, I just kind of wondered, why am I doing this? Like, what is the ultimate purpose? I know it's something to do and it's something creatively to express myself, but I like to have a point to everything I do. And to me, I don't take it as seriously as a lot of other people do. Like, makeup is just makeup. It's just like, for me, I use it as artistic expression, because I don't wear out a lot of the looks that I put up. A lot of the looks I put up are just for show. My channel isn't, it's like entertainment and educational at the same time. I'm not just trying to tell you how to do stuff. I'm trying to encourage people to be creative. That's my main goal. So that was the thing where I was like, okay, my aim is to encourage people to use their gifts and watch them multiply, and also to encourage people to think outside the box. You don't have to do everything that everybody else does. So I still didn't really know what the ultimate goal of the YouTube channel was though, and but I kept doing it anyway, and I felt like, okay, God's leading me to do this, so there's obviously a reason for it. I had like the best time of my life at uni. I had so many friends around me, and slowly, just one by one, I just felt like all my friends were gone, just due to life. You know, we get older, and you know, people, I live in outside London, and I just felt really isolated, and I slowly started to just lose my confidence. I felt like I wasn't living anymore. I just felt like, what is the point of me? I just felt like I was alive, but I was pointless. And I just felt like all the subscribers that I'd managed to get at that point, I just felt like I found it really hard to talk to the camera, because I felt like people who don't like me, or you know, criticize me or whatever, I don't really care, to be honest. But it was like, I felt more like the people who actually like me, probably like me, or who say like, oh, I really support you, know, like, I love you, Bisa, like I love your channel and all that. I just felt like, you're just saying that because you don't know me. Like, do you know what I mean? I just felt like, if you actually knew me, you probably wouldn't like me. And I just started to feel more and more like there's nothing good about me, kind of thing. And like, everything that was good about me wasn't down to me. It was nothing to do with me, and everything that was bad was all my fault, if you know what I mean. And the last few years, I've just been struggling with being happy. That was my main quest, was like to be happy. And I'm a Christian, and I'm like, I knew that I wasn't living this life to its full potential of what it's supposed to be. And I've got a song called Lost in Space, and it's basically about that struggle. And like, a lot of my songs I get in my dreams and stuff, the lyrics and things like that. So I don't actually, it's not like I sit there and think of the lines. Like, a lot of them just come to me. So sometimes I'll read it back and I'll be like, what does that mean? Or it didn't come from me. So it's almost like, okay, I've got to figure out what this means. And the first line of the song is, how do you regulate what goes on in your mind when all around you see is trouble and strife? Life is a beautiful thing. It doesn't have to be a perilous fight. How do you view your world? What have you written down? And to me, it was just like, okay, I'm saying life is a beautiful thing, and I don't believe it. I'm living this life purely by, I'm just there. There was a point where I just wished, I didn't want to die, but I just wished there was literally like a pause button where I could just like click the button, shut down for like 6 good months, and then just wait for when I wake up, maybe something else would happen. That's literally how I was living. And it got really bad. And I was talking to my brother one time, and we were just walking, driving around town and stuff. And then it was really late at night. And he was just talking to me, and he just said, like, what would you do if you got everything that you wanted and you were still unhappy? Then what? And when he said that to me, I was just like, what do you mean? Like, of course I'd be happy. And then he said it, and I was just like, but then he really said it, and I was just like, no, seriously, what if I did get everything and I was still unhappy? What if I got all the things, like, in my career that I want? What if I met, like, the man of my dreams and I'm still miserable? And it just made me think, if I'm still miserable, then that would be hopeless. Because the only thing that I'm living on now is hope. that at the time, that's all I was living on, just hope. I was just fueled by hope. And that's all I had. And I just thought, can you imagine just getting everything that you want and you've got no more hope in the sense of things to look forward to? That's it. And then I just thought, oh my gosh, like, what would be the point of any of it? So, it kind of really haunted me in a way. At one point I spoke to a YouTuber, Texas Cutie, and because she was talking about how she decided to wait on God for the person she was going to marry, and she was engaged, and it was like a really nice video and stuff. And I just kind of, I don't know why, because I'd never spoken to her before, but I just sent her a message, and I just told her everything, kind of thing. And she was just like so lovely and so encouraging, because I was just like, I just told her, like, there's like, I feel like almost ashamed of like my decisions, because I feel like they're not showing to be the right decisions. Like, normally if you make a life choice, it's supposed to kind of be reflected in the result, and I had no result. So like my life was like nothing at all like I wanted it to be. And I was just talking to her, and she just gave me so much encouragement, and she just said, when God's timing is right, it will happen, and all this stuff. And it was so like poignant, everything she was saying. But still, if you're not at the right place at the right time, you can't really receive things the way you want to. And she told me to do the single ladies tag or something like that, and I was just like, there's no way I'm gonna like do a tag and just talk about being single. I just thought, oh my gosh, like, I just thought, I'm not happy being single, so why should I'm not gonna do a tag and pretend that I'm okay with it. So I didn't, and time passed, and basically I just turned 30 in December. And that time before getting to 30, I just wanted everything to change. My life had been so kind of, I just knew this is a turning point in my life. It's a big deal, turning 30 for me anyway. And I just felt like I can't go through life the same way I have been. Things need to change. And basically, I wrote down a list of everything that I didn't like about myself. And the list was really long, and it made me depressed. And I just felt like there's so many people that I just think I just kind of am inspired by because of just them being who they are. Like people like, there's YouTubers like Andrew's Choice. I just love her because she's just so comfortable in herself, and she was kind of like, I want to be like that. Not like her, but I just wanted to have that confidence in myself, like be fine with who I am. And like also people like Charisma Star. I just thought, you know, people who just exude, you know, happiness, and I don't know, just make you feel good. I don't know. But anyway, I just listed all the things I didn't like about myself, and it was really long and it was depressing, and I felt like I progressed way back to when I was like 14 years old, to be honest. And I looked at the list, and then I just wrote everything that I felt. I just wrote it all down. And then when I wrote it all down, I decided, do you know what? I'm going to do a fast. For 3 days, I'm not going to have any food. I'm just going to pray and seek God and just try and do something and try and get a result. My goal, my aim of the fast was to kind of kill the flesh in the spiritual term, which is basically to kind of kill that part of you that clings to self-consciousness and selfishness and self-centeredness, everything about me. I just wanted to not be like this anymore, where I'm just in this, I just didn't want to feel like this anymore. I didn't want to have that feeling anymore. So I did the fast, and honestly, it was like the best thing I could ever do. By the end of it, I don't know how, I mean, if you don't believe in God, like you're not going to believe what I'm saying, or you're not going to understand what I'm saying, but I literally had a turning point in my life, and I just realised that My personality glorifies God. Who I am glorifies God. He purposely made me this way. It's not an accident, it's not fluke, and it's not like I just ended up this way. It was a decision and a choice. And everything I'm doing is part of the plan. And me using my gifts and me just living is what he wants. And it just like, he literally restored my soul. Like, literally, like, I was just like a mess, and he literally just made me feel like you're not as bad as you think you are. And then when I looked over my list, I realised there's actually, none of it was true. Like, the things I was saying was actually not true. Like, life is perception. Everything about life is perception. Like, you interact with the world through your beliefs. And I changed my perception completely from, like, miraculously. After that fast, I just felt like a different person altogether. But still, there was that other side, which was like, I'm waiting to meet the person I'm going to marry. And it was kind of feeling like this is never going to happen. Like, I'm living on a promise that was done so long ago, that was made so long ago, and it's like, it's not happening. And I remember watching, it wasn't that long ago, it was like a few weeks ago, I was watching Charisma Star. I love her. But I was watching her channel, and on the channel she has her love story, and it's how she met her husband and how she got married, and how the whole marriage, it's such a cool story. So watch the video, I'll link it below. But it was just really like fairy tale and really dramatic. And I am like, even though I don't like, I'm like an action film chick. I don't like rom-coms or like chick flicks. I'm not really one of them, but still, I'm obviously a girl, so undercover I do like that whole kind of romantic, you know, thing. And that story really touched me, but also really provoked me, because I was like, okay, I finally feel like I like myself, I'm confident in myself, but there's this other side where I'm just like, why? I just said to God, like, what about me? Like, I just felt like, why are you hooking up everyone else, everyone around me? I see all these weddings going on and all this stuff, and I'm just like, what about me? And like, by the way, I did realise later, even though I've been waiting for this, like for a long time, I realised that up until the age of like 27, I actually didn't even want to be married, even though I thought I did, because a lot of people made me feel like, you know, what's happening, like, clock's ticking. And I was literally like 23, so people made me feel like I should be thinking about getting married, when really I didn't even want to get married. Not my parents aren't like that at all, but like people in church and stuff, and it would just make me feel like it was an epidemic or something, like, what, why are you single, kind of thing. So I basically spoke to God, and I was like, what about me? And when I was talking to him after watching that video, I just got the revelation. I don't even remember how, but I just realised that if I'd met the person I'm going to marry when I was going through all this drama and all this mess, I would have just made his life a misery. Like, and it would just be so tragic to have like a really decent guy, and I don't even appreciate it because I've got all this drama going on, and I'm like self-loathing and all this other stuff. And I just realised that the timing is going to be perfect, because I'm now at a point in my life where I actually feel like complete. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't feel like I spent like most of my life just feeling like I wish I was better, and I wish this would happen, and I wish things would change, and I wish I could change. And it's like the first time in my life where I don't feel like there's something wrong with me. I actually feel whole, and I'm so grateful to God for that. And I just realised that everything was building me up to this point where I can just be comfortable. And I was just so happy, like even on my birthday, like normally I spend my birthdays crying, like literally. I didn't have any friends at one point. I was just so alone. I just felt so alone at one point, and like I just had people just through YouTube. I just got to know so many people, and I just had the best birthday, one of the best birthdays I've ever had, like since I was at uni. And I just felt like God's just making everything come together, and it's all because He needed to sort me out first. And I just want to encourage people, like, sometimes we want, like, I know so many girls who are just like, oh, I can't wait to meet my husband, blah blah, but it's like this is a time in your life to sort your life out. This is a time to do all the things you want to do, to be comfortable in yourself and to be whole while you're single, and not wait for somebody to make you complete, to be like, the missing piece to my life. When you meet someone, it's supposed to add to your life. It's not supposed to complete your life. Do you know what I mean? When I meet the person I'm going to marry, I want to be added value. I don't want to be in a relationship where I'm just trying to get love and I'm trying to get happiness. I'm trying to get everything from this person. I want to add to that person's life, and they should want to add to mine. And I should be complete and whole and happy on my own, so that when I meet that person, I can be happy, complete on my own and with that person, if you get what I mean. And not looking to someone to give me what they can't give me. No human being can make you whole. No human being can make you complete. I believe only God can do that. If you don't believe that, let me know how else you find completeness and wholeness, because I don't know any other way. Because for me personally, this is like the biggest thing ever. I thought that my biggest testimony or whatever was going to be like when I meet the person I'm going to marry, and I will finally be like, oh yeah, like it happens, like that would be the big thing. But for me, this is the biggest testimony this is the biggest gift I could ever have. To be happy to be who I am, to be free to be who I am, is like what I've been waiting for my whole life. And I just thank God so much for that. And I'm just encouraging people who are waiting on whoever they want, like, enjoy your life, enjoy every day, and be grateful, because this is perception. This is all a dream anyway. We're going to wake up one day and you're just going to look back and think, oh man, I really wasted my life. Like, just enjoy it. Nothing is that big a deal. Like, people not liking you doesn't matter. People thinking whatever people think about you, it doesn't matter. All that really matters is how you feel about yourself. And I just wanted to encourage people, especially to do with the sex before marriage thing as well. It's like, I know I'm not preaching to anyone. That's my choice, that's my decision, and I'm still sticking to it. But I just want to let people know that like, a lot of people don't even know it's an option, especially like young people. I just feel like, I'm not going to blame the media, but even like at school, it's like everybody's indicating that you should be doing it as soon as you like hit 16 or even younger. And I'm just saying, you don't have to let anyone pressure you into doing anything. You don't have to. This is an option. You don't have to sleep with someone just because you're going out with them or whatever, especially if you're younger. But I just feel like for me, it's helped me, and being single all this time has been the perfect way for me to sort myself out. I don't think I would have been able to get it together if I was in a relationship, because I would be too busy trying to distract myself with trying to get my love and everything from another person. I personally had never met anyone who had decided to wait for marriage before they had sex, who was over the age of 25. Like, literally, I haven't seen it before. So no, if you haven't seen it before, now you have. Like, but for me, it's worked out. Like, I'm so happy with the decisions I've made, and I'm just so happy at the stage I'm at. it is possible to be happily single and to just be whole and not be looking for someone else to fill up your life or make your life complete. That you can be complete without another person, and when you do meet that person, you just, everything is full. Do you know what I mean? Rather than complete, everything is full and overjoyed and everything else. So I just want to thank you for watching. Thank you so much for your encouragement and everything else. I really appreciate it. It's been really awkward doing this. Like, it took me ages to get it together to start this video, and just because it's like, I don't even know if it's been helpful. I don't really know what. I just hope I've encouraged somebody that however dark it may seem, however down you may seem, you can come out and, like, now I'm just so, I'm just so free, you know. Like, the last few videos that I've done, I've just been myself, and I've, like, been able to joke around and be stupid and just be myself. And I just feel like this stage in my life, the more happy with yourself you are, the more people want to be around that and want to interact with that. And just, like, I'm just so grateful for everything that God's doing. Even, like, recently I've been talking to my school friends from when I was like 10 years old, and it's just so cool because it's like, I just feel like God is adding to what was a drought of friends, and now I'm just getting more. And, like, even just, I just want to add, like, being on YouTube, I didn't really get why I was on it, but I do want to talk to you guys more because I've got more to say than just makeup that I'm loving or whatever. But yeah, I just feel like I'm so honoured to have this platform, however big or small it may be. I really appreciate your support, and I really appreciate people who have just watched me on YouTube. And yeah, I hope this has been helpful, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.